how YouTube changed my life in 1 year. Hey everybody, it's Ryan here. I want to share with you the things that have happened over the last full calendar year in 2022 that have allowed me to change my life thanks to YouTube. And so I just want to share that with you, especially if you're a person who's looking to become an aspiring YouTuber, content creator. I would urge you to watch this video all the way to the end. I'm going to share some things with you that I believe are going to bless your life and they're going to push you and propel you to move forward in your content creation journey. Okay. And so the first thing I want to start with is 2022 was not my first year of posting content on YouTube. It was my first full year of being consistent, but the first time I actually posted a YouTube video was all the way back in 2007. And so I was in college. I was going to UC Davis. I chose to go to UC Davis because I felt like I was running away from certain situations. I wanted to be as far as away from my family, far away from my circumstances as humanly possible. You know, there was something that I had done in high school that almost changed the trajectory of my entire life. You know, I could have went to prison for possibly like 9 years, and by the grace of God, certain things happened and transpired in a way where a person who had the power to essentially ruin my life called me and said that, hey, I can see that you're a kid, you're 18 years old. I don't want to ruin your life. If you do these specific things that I'm going to tell you to do, you won't have to go to jail, you won't have to go to prison. And so I did them. And so here I am at UC Davis, try to get far away from, you know, my situation, my circumstances, the things that were going on in my life as humanly possible. And I get introduced to YouTube. You know, obviously I had seen some videos on YouTube prior to me actually posting a YouTube video. I think we all kind of may have around that time, if you were, you know, a teenager or an adult, you know, YouTube really exploded after the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake incident at the Super Bowl. And so for me, I was familiar with what YouTube was, and I would be in my dorm room watching these videos on YouTube. You know, some of the most viral videos that ever have blessed the internet, you know, had come out at that time. And this was an awesome time to just be a fan of the YouTube platform. And so in the process of time, I found this guy. His name was Dennis Carganilla, and he's a little scrawny kid from Diamond Bar, California. One of the smartest men I ever met. You know, he was like 10 years older than me. And again, he was like the smartest guy I had ever met. He was uber successful. He had done many things, and it's like almost every business that he did made millions of dollars. Like every business, he could like think of any random thing to start a business about, and he would make millions of dollars. It just had this gift, and I believe he was had a prophetic person. I believe he could see things ahead of time, and he would just act on them. And so at this time, one of the things that he was like literally screaming from the rooftops, he was telling everybody, you should get on YouTube, you should make content, you know, basically start telling your story, find a way to tell your story that you would find enough people to connect with who you are as a person. These people would follow you, these people would begin to love you, and that anything that you decided to offer on the back end of telling your story, you know, would be successful. And you know, a lot of people didn't listen to him, a lot of people didn't believe him. And one of the things that he did, just like in front of our eyes, is he created a business. It was a coaching business called MLM Goldmine, where he taught home-based business owners essentially how to use the power of, you know, YouTube and other social media platforms to get free leads and traffic to their business. And the first year of launching that, the first full calendar year of launching that business, his partner Jimmy, who was another mentor of mine at the time, they ended up making like $1.7 million, and it was phenomenal to see. You know, they weren't running paid ads, they weren't, you know, doing anything fancy. They were literally, you know, talking into a camera like this. And I think at the time, you know, there were these like not GoPro cameras. I think they were called Flip like they had this little flip out little button. Again, it was a terrible time to actually be a content creator. There was so much work that you had to do to really get a YouTube video out. And so but at the time, it was worth it. Obviously they make millions of dollars. And so I started posting content on YouTube. Now some of the first videos that I posted on YouTube, I'm glad they're off the internet. There were people at this particular time, if you were like in the business opportunity space, the make money online space, there was in 2009 there was like a big sweep where YouTube were actually started shutting down some of these accounts. And so like I think some of my original accounts got shut down. And so I'm glad those videos are not on the internet. But I think if you search my name, you may find some old videos. I found some old videos. I'm not going to tell you where to look, but they were cringy. They were terrible, and I knew that I was terrible on video at that time. And one thing that I didn't know is that through the process of time, maybe you're watching this video right now, you're thinking about like, hey, I want to be a YouTube content creator or a content creator in general, and your content is not coming out the way that you want it to do, or the way that you want it to be. I'm telling you from somebody who's been doing this, who started all the way back in 2007, before being a content creator was really a thing, is that your first videos that you post out, they're going to be terrible. They're going to be so bad. But at the same time, it's going to teach you a skill. It's going to teach you something that's going to help you. And that's why I'm making this video right now. So 2022 was like the first full calendar year that I did YouTube consistently. Back then, when I was first started YouTube in 2007, I had some really big wins. One of the things that actually got me away from posting videos with my face in the content is I figured out a strategy with my brother. We were posting videos where we would go on this website. It was called datpiff.com, and we would essentially be able to see mixtapes and songs that were getting ready to drop before they dropped. Another website that we used was a website called Hits Double Daily. I know DatPiff is still a website. Maybe Hits Double Daily is still a website, but this was pre-World. Well, no, I think WorldStar was out too. So we used some of these sites. I think even WorldStar was a site that we used to find content to post on YouTube. And so what we would do is we would find a video that we believe, or a song that we believe it was going to go viral, right? And since we were able to get the song before it was released, we would download the song, edit it, essentially make a music video for the song. And inside the music video we would make for the song, it would just be like, either us adding an overlay of our website URL to it, or we would be again just make a lyric kind of video, something that was super easy to put together, that didn't take a lot of time. And thanks to that, at one point we were able to start driving up to like 400 leads a day to our website. And so it's cringy, but if you want to be able to go see one of my first websites that I ever built, I purchased the domain name richcollegeboy.com when I was at UC Davis. I remember the first dollar I ever made on the internet. And so that's the website. You can use a tool called the Web Archive. You can go back and see the first website I built, and you can see, that I'll tell you the truth. You can see the dates, anything, right? And so one of the videos I posted on YouTube with my brother, again, I believe it was his video that actually got this many views, was we posted, "How you doing? Good morning." We posted a video. It was Usher and R. Kelly, Same Girl. I'll never forget that song because, it made us quite a bit of money. And so this particular video, I think it ended up getting like 300,000 views, 320,000 views, somewhere around there, right? But because of the amount of leads that we were able to drive to our website, I think we ended up making like $8,000 from the one video. And so when I saw that was possible, I'm like, why would I keep making videos with my face that are getting low views, that's not getting seen in, right? And so it kind of pulled me away from, actually listening to Dennis's advice and doing what Dennis was recommending. And so here we are today. In 2021, I heard God tell me to start doing YouTube. And for like 2 or 3 months, I was battling with being obedient to getting on YouTube. And one of those reasons why is because my twin brother Brian, he was doing well on TikTok, and he quickly built up an audience of like 100,000 on TikTok. And everybody who was anybody, Gary Vee, all these marketing gurus, all these marketing people were talking about like, man, TikTok this, TikTok that. And so instead of listening to God, instead of listening to the creator of the universe, I started listening to people. I started listening to men, and I started, posting on TikTok. And eventually, I grew that account to like 16,000 people, and TikTok ended up banning me. And so it was like, back to YouTube. I'll actually do what God told me to do. And so I started seeing people. Another thing that just like really just pushed me out there is I was frustrated with some of the content that I was seeing, specifically in the area of prophetic ministry. That's a whole nother video that I could that I am probably going to touch on today. There was specific voices that were like, again, from my conversation with God, from my understanding of God, how God was showing me in the picture he was showing me. Obviously, not going to go into the whole prophecy thing, but again, as a prophet, God shows us parts of pictures, right? And so even if that person had another part of the picture, what they were saying was so out of line with the picture that I was seeing that there was no possible way that these two pieces of the puzzle could fit in the same picture. And so I began frustrated. And so out of my frustration, I started to post content. And I think sometimes God knows exactly what's going to push our buttons, what's going to make us actually take action on something, right? And so I'm getting to the point. I pray that you guys are still with me. I'm going to get to the point of how YouTube changed my life. Obviously, over the last year and a half, there's been words, there's been dreams, there's been visions that God has given me that I've shared with you. If you've been here for that long, that have literally, caused people to start businesses, that have caused people to rethink suicide, that have caused people to get a closer connection with God. And those things, knowing that God has used you as a vessel to help people in this particular area, that means more to me than any financial benefit that YouTube offers. Obviously, YouTube does offer a financial benefit. And for most of you guys who are thinking about getting started with YouTube, one of the things that I want to just urge you right now and just give you like a pseudo, I guess, like call to action and bring to your attention is that if your only method and the only reason why you want to post on YouTube is to make money, you're probably going to struggle in the beginning, right? You're going to struggle to find your footing because you're going to be chasing views. You're going to be chasing, what's trending versus what's going to be impactful. And so I can tell you that for firsthand experience. And so, I'm just going to urge you that if you don't have a coach, don't have somebody who can, who is at least one step ahead of you that can, help you to shortcut your learning curve, then I'm going to recommend that you get one. Right now, one of the things that we're doing is we're creating a community of people specifically who want to learn the inside information of how YouTube and some of these social media sites work. And so we put together a small group, a Facebook group, that if you want to be a part of, the information is going to be in the description of how you can join that. Okay. And so going back to my story. Okay. So I was frustrated. Out of my frustration, I started coming on YouTube. God has allowed me to be a vessel to pour into people's lives. This has changed my life, not just because I see their benefit, but it also blesses me, to know that I'm being a blessing. One of my biggest personality traits, if you ever met me in person, especially if you met me, pre-salvation, or really, diving in and really walking with God, that my natural proclivity is to be like the life of the party. My natural proclivity is to see other people happy. My natural proclivity is to be the person that pulls other people up. And so I've always been an encourager. I've always been that person. And so like I pray that, you know, that's being translated through these videos, that something that I say is inspiring, something that I say is encouraging, something that I say is causing you to want to move forward with your life and what God is calling you to do. And so even on yesterday, I had a friend, a dear friend, that I've known since I was in kindergarten. They reached out to me. We had a private conversation. Obviously, I won't reveal everything. But one of the things that this person said to me that just made my day was they said, hey, I see that you post, you know, faith-based content. You know, they want to start posting more faith-based content. Even though some of our probably our religious views are, you know, slightly a little bit different. But I believe, and I'm happy that in some way that I could be an inspiration to anybody, especially somebody I know. Because one of the things that the Bible talks about specifically is sometimes a prophet won't be accepted in his own home, and right. And so for somebody who grew up with me, who probably knows more about me, especially more negative things about me than positive things, because, you know, of the lifestyle choices that I've made in my life, to say that I inspired them at some point, you know, that just literally wrecked me yesterday. And so this platform, if you allow it, it can literally change your life. I feel like in my own personal life, I think a rabbit just touched my leg. But I've been able to become a better communicator. I know my communication style is still, sometimes I'm scatterbrained, and that's, you know, to the ADHD. I also know that I've been able to become a stronger person. You know, sometimes people like to look down on people who take risks and to become an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I would tell you, and my brother Chris Rogers, he highlighted this to me on Friday, is that whatever path that God is telling you to do, people are going to talk about you regardless, right? And so I would rather be on the side knowing that this is something that God told me to do, and I pursue that, and whatever risks or whatever things come along with that, versus never even having tried. And so some of you right now, you're watching this video, you know that you have this itch, you know that you have this strong desire, this strong calling to post content. And one of the things that I'm going to share with you before I wrap this video up, I just want to share transparently with you 3 things that God has shared with me that I've tried to do my best to frame my content around these 3 things. And because these are 3 things that I know word for word that God has told me to say. And so, number 1, I remember where I was. I was sitting at the kitchen table at my in-laws' house, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, their house. It was December 24th, 2020. It was around 5:40 p.m. Again, I know the exact time. You know, when there's certain things that God's going to say to you that you're going to remember exactly where you were sitting, what you were doing, because they were the catalyst to change your life. And so this is what God said to me. He said, tell the truth. And so that's the first tenet, right? One of the things that we saw even this week, last 12 days, you know, this Cat Williams interview, I posted a video about it, how much, you know, that interview made. I'm going to share here. Maybe you guys saw the video or not. I would still suggest you guys watch it if you're thinking about becoming a content creator. I believe they made Shannon Sharp made close to $1.4 million off of that one interview. And one of the things why that interview resonated with so many people is because the simple fact, from what we can see and what we can know, what we have a consciousness to be aware of, is that they shared the truth. It's a helicopter. Okay, so they shared the truth. You know, some of it, it's a little hard to believe, but the spirit behind what they were saying there was a whole lot of truth there. Okay, and so that's why we all resonated with that video. And so when you're producing content, I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is going to always work. The truth is always going to be trending. The truth is always going to be viral. And so if you base your content strategy around the truth, then you're going to go far. The second thing that God said to me was give. I noticed that people who tend to give more, give as much value as they can in the content, and are not worried about, am I going to give my best stuff away? Give your best stuff away. You're going to find a way to monetize it. So don't be stingy with your give. The word of God is so clear about people who give. You're going to reap. You're going to reap, right? And sometimes there's a process, and sometimes there's a delay between the moment that you give to the moment that you actually reap. And that's why some people stop giving, is like when they give, they don't see an immediate return, right? And so they think giving doesn't work, but the principle of giving works, right? Everything that God tells you to do is going to work. And so the last thing that God said to me specifically as in terms of business, content creation, and I'm going to hang it up on this, is have faith, right? If you do those three things, if you tell the truth, you give more than you receive, and you have faith, it's going to work out for you. Now, I don't want to leave you ignorant. I don't want to leave you without this one piece that I think every business needs, right? Most people on YouTube are trying to share with you what's the latest and greatest tactic to go viral. What is the latest and greatest tactic to get more views? And they're looking at tactical things, where tactical things work for the moment, but strategy is what lasts forever. And the word of God gives us strategy, right? And so I want to help you, any person who's looking at getting started with YouTube or content creation. If you want to learn how to become a full-time content creator, I want to give you the strategies of what's working right now for myself and for my clients and for people who are following, these three principles that I'm sharing with you. Give, tell the truth, and have faith. That's working with them. I want to give you the strategy behind how to monetize your give. I want to give you the strategy behind monetizing the truth. Okay. And so if that's you, what I want you to do right now is text the word truth to 702-608-1689. Again, text the word truth to 702-608-1689. I want to have a personal conversation with you. I want to share with you what we're working on right now to help content creators make this year, 2024, the best year of your life possible. Again, this is how YouTube changed my life. It's helped me to become more honest. It helped me to become more bold. It helped me to become, more stable in my finances, because it's opened up so many avenues. It's helped me to invest in other people. It's helped me to sow into their lives. It helps me to cause people to not do stupid things in their lives, in their marriages. A lot of things that I can't share with you because of the privacy of those conversations, but so many different things that YouTube has done to bless me and change my life in 1 year. I can't wait to see what YouTube does this year for me. God bless you. Like this video, share this video with somebody else who is an aspiring content creator.